What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds, talking authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. The window has been a drag, and I will not be convinced otherwise. Seeing names like Dominic Calvert-lewin, outcast from the Italian League, do not fill me with confidence at all. But luckily for you guys, we've got Sir Dave Brailsford and Sir Jim Ratcliffe alongside me, so we'll get their thoughts in a moment. How are we feeling, lads? Optimistic ahead of the season?
Sam, do you want to go?
Or? I wouldn't say massively optimistic, but I wouldn't be as pessimistic as Nick is and what everybody else online seems to be panicking and running about like the house is on fire. I'm not at that level, but yeah.
Yeah, same. I think, people, when we start seeing other teams do business is when fans start getting impatient and stuff. But I'm willing to give them another week or so to see what reports say. But yeah, it's not going to happen at once. It's one of them ones. It's United, really. But I'm hoping.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to thank Sir Dave and Sir Jim for their thoughts at this moment. The stories that we're going to run through, completely unacceptable in my opinion. This is a channel, this is everyone's shared opinion, this is just in my opinion. Diego's first day, as well as many other Man United players, back in training today. Sancho close to Juventus, apparently, according to Italian journalists. Make of that what you will. I feel like it's been close for the past week. And Rasmus Højlund desperate to stay, plus any other further stories that we get towards the end of the show. But look, yeah, the reason why I've gone with this, the kind of title and the thumbnail, and anyone else who's joining us live or later on, get your thoughts in, because everyone's entitled to an opinion, right? You look at it as a window in general in a minute. It opened in it from the 1st to the 10th. There's like a little mini window, kind of closed, and then it's reopened on the 16th, and it shuts on September the 1st, right? We've signed Matheus Cunha for £62.5 million, which I think a lot of people would probably agree, really, really good signing. That happened early June, 12th of June, which is a rarity in itself because we don't usually sign players in June. Very, very rare. Now, going into this window, off the back of a Europa League final loss to Spurs and a 15th place finish, I think if someone would have said to you guys before it, we would only have Cunha in by the time we were starting back up training again, I think there would be surely warning signs or at least alert signs. And the reason why I say that is because the past couple of years, whether you go, even to 2023 under Ten Hag, we had Mason Mount in by the 5th of July, and he was the only player, the new signing, when we went back to training. And then we signed Onana, I think, at the end of July, and everyone was moaning about that window. So the question I would like to pose to you guys is, what's the difference now?
Well, it's still, what is it? The 7th of July that we've got right now. I think you have to be realistic. There's a lot of context that goes into things. We're just dealing with outgoings. I think that's one of the main things is the outgoings. We don't have any money. That's one big difference as of last time. I haven't got any money to spend. When Ten Hag came, he got to spend stupid money on Anthony and stupid money on Mason Mount and all that kind of stuff. Now it's a little bit different. Now we're looking at the wage bill more closely. Now we're looking at outgoings to raise money for because we didn't qualify for Europe. We didn't win the Europa League. There's no extra cash to fund this big transfer season, this big transfer window that we need. So there has to be some element of being realistic there. You can't just compare and contrast both seasons because it's two different situations. But I understand the frustration with people because it doesn't seem like anything is happening. The jury is still out for me for Ineos. I'm very optimistic with them, but I really need to see what happens within the next couple of weeks. See what happens. I mean, it's not easy to just sell off the players that we have at the moment because, we can sell Rashford and Garnacho, but then people like Jadon Sancho, people like Anthony, we have to get at least something for them for PSI or PSR or whatever it's called. So there's a lot involved in it, and I'm usually quite relaxed in these kind of situations, and I'm trying to be relaxed at the moment because I feel like things are actually happening behind the scenes that we just don't know of. But because we see things happening for other clubs, we start to get a little bit impatient. I think I'm not saying you, Nick. I'm just saying in general. But I would allow it. I would allow it for another week or so before I start to get worried.
Sam, if Chivy's giving it another week or so, what are you giving it?
Whatever it takes. Like Chivy sort of touched on. Everybody's looking at Liverpool. Everybody's looking at City. Everybody's looking at. I mean, even Arsenal not operating that fast, but I understand. Like they've bought one player, potentially buying Jaqueras as well. So I understand that comparison. City are able to spend whatever they want because they sell really well. So their PSR is in the is it a black or the red? What's the good one? Is it a black?
This is the good one.
Yeah. So they're able to spend whatever they want. Also, there's 115 reasons for why they may be able to spend what they do. So we'll see what happens there. Liverpool won the league, finished in the Champions League places, went far in the competition, and they didn't buy last season at all. I mean, I think they did buy Chiesa for like 15 million or something.
Yeah, 7.
Like yeah.
Stupid.
So they were able to just spend whatever, and obviously
and they do good business as well.
And they don't do good business, and they've done a little deal with Bayer Leverkusen, sold Jonathan Tah, got 40 million off the Florian Wirtz price, so they've been smart with it.
Cunha.
So yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah, Joe Quansah. Why am I say Tah? Did he leave? Oh, he went to Bayern, didn't he?
He moved.
Did he go to Bayern?
Yeah, I think so.
Or did he resign? Yeah. So I think that's one factor. So all of them are moving really quickly and moving well. So all the United fans are like, why can't we do that? We're not operating in the same pool as they are. Like, we can't play with the cash they've got and the players they're competing with. Don't have European football. We finished 15th last season. Some of the worst football we've ever seen. What player is going to look at United and go, yeah, I fancy it? Like, it's just not going to happen, is it? Yeah, but Cunha's, obviously, there's a special case, but most players aren't going to come. See what happens. See what happens. Like, that may or may not happen. So, and then we got Cunha over the line because it was a release clause, so there's no negotiation needed. We just literally went in, paid the price, bang, sorted. So we weren't dragging it out for months because it was a release clause. In Bumo, this is the point now. So I saw a report today saying they're using the benchmark of different players.
Elanga.
Elanga and Madueke might be another one because he's potentially going to João Pedro is another one. So that's what they're using as their benchmark, and I believe they've increased the price since we first went in and bid. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. And United, in the past, have overpaid for players. Like, we've gone in and we bid up. But happened with that today. Happened with Højlund. Like, it's happened. Mason Mount was another one. And I think Ineos need to stop that. So if we're going to stop that, you have to stop it with the first one you do. That's why it's taking so long to get these negotiations done. Because if you overpay by 2 million, 3 million, whatever it is, it's not a lot to us lot. But in their heads, that's the line. It's like, we do not overpay. We have a set price, and that's what we're going to pay. If they don't agree to it, we walk away. And then in future transfers, future buy-ins and stuff, they know that we're not going to overpay in future. So, but we might miss out on a player. We might miss out on a couple of players. That might happen. And then other teams are playing hardball with us when it comes to buying players because they know we're desperate. So Betis, they don't want to pay the money for Anthony. They want in, they want another loan, whatever. Juventus, we don't want to pay his wages, blah, blah, blah. Rashford, Barca, we don't know. We were going to buy Nico Williams, but we can't really afford Rashford. So can we loan him and stuff? So all these other clubs know we're desperate as well. So we're just in this situation now where we can't move for anybody until anybody's sold. And we can't sell anybody because all the other clubs know we're desperate. So we're just stuck. And that's where we're at. We've got revolving credit facility, which is, I think, it's 140 million. But we don't want to dip into it because then we're back paying off transfers again, which we're still paying off from Onana, Højlund, all that sort of stuff. There's so many things going on, and people are reacting like we've got a pot of cash and we're just not spending it. And it's just not that simple.
We've got the pot of cash for Mbeumo and Cunha. That money is there. So and at the minute, if they're...
Would you move on from Mbeumo then?
Well, this is my point. Like, yeah, if they're deeming it too high, then where's your contingency plan? Where's plan B? Where's C? Where's Semenyo as a... whoever it is.
Well, Semenyo signed a new deal, hasn't he, with Bournemouth? So
I'm not saying them specifically. I'm saying if you have a contingency plan, like every club operate with 6 months' time, like they've got players there that they would then go to. Man City do it. They're like, we're not paying 50, so then we will move on to another one. And in terms of selling players, Like, the same thing got chucked at under John Murtaugh and Richard Arnold about, oh, they can't sell players, they can't move these guys on. We can't move these guys on, even under this new ownership. Like, are they using the right networks? Are they using... Well, let me finish my point on our thing here. Are they using the right contacts and networks to kind of shift these players? Look at you. Someone mentioned Liverpool before, right? They sold a 33-year-old Jordan Henderson for 15 million quid. Sadio Mane, they sold for 40 million quid with a year left on his deal. Like, Chelsea sold us Mount with a year left on his deal for 60 million quid on big wages, by the way, as well. So it's not like it gets labelled, oh, they're on big wages, so you definitely can't move them. I don't buy that fully. I don't agree with that. I think you can if you're shrewd. If you have the right contacts, I think you can move them on. In certain cases, maybe with like Marcus Rashford, where the wages are astronomical and it's £350,000 a week, then yeah, sure. Garnacho's on 70k a week. Why is he still here?
Because he doesn't want to move abroad. He only wants to move to the Premier League.
Yeah, but then apart from that, like, are you saying we should sell them at like cut prices?
What about Rasmus?
Cheap prices. I'm just saying.
Well, the reports come out saying he wants to stay. He doesn't want to go.
I'm sure he does.
So,
but like, here's the thing, Nick. Like,
force a player, can you? Like, if a club comes in, the player goes, "I don't want to go." What do you do? You can't make them go.
It's still under contract. Like, yeah, you can't get it.
Yeah,
but here's the thing about selling players. Like, unless you want us to just sell them at like cheap cut prices, then that, I mean, because we would want to get some value, a little bit of value for some of these players, especially like Garnacho. But the problem that we have now is we've gone out and the news has come out that we don't want Rashford. We've given his number to Cunha. There's four of them: Rashford, Malacia, Sancho, and someone else.
Who's in charge of that decision?
Well, I'm just saying, we've made that public now. So obviously, now I'm agreeing with you, Nick. We've made that public now. So people are not going to be, if you're trying to sell, if you're trying to make money off something, we've definitely taken out the value from these players by saying, well, we don't really want them. Yeah. So, yeah, but then when people come and buy them, yeah, then we can't start putting value on them already. Like, it's almost like a contradiction. Like, it's ridiculous how we move. But I think with the outgoings, like, it's not as straightforward. I mean, we're just suffering from years and years of neglect of bad decisions, and we're just in this position now where we have to just bite the bullet, and we're either just going to sell on the cheap or keep. You know, I think it was really bad. I don't think it was a club decision to release that news. It was like, you know, it came out from, was it Fab who tweeted it? Was it Romano who tweeted that? Or the players?
I think it was. I think it might have been. I think it might have been Fab.
It might have been Romano. Yeah, it was one of them ones. Like, it didn't come out from the club, but then.
Was it Nathan Salt with Garnacho? I think it was, wasn't it, when he said go find another club.
But I think she was on about the collective, like 5 players who supposedly handed in a request to leave.
Yeah. And then all the agents came out and said, "Oh, it's not true," and tried to put it back on the club.
Sorry, I thought you was ending your point.
Oh, yes.
Is that the end of the point? Right, sorry. Let me bring in other people, because there's quite a few comments. Andy Williams saying, blows my mind that they planned 6 months ahead and briefed we're going to be swift, yet then let stories come out and make their job harder to sell players. They've handed their own assets. Idiots. James saying, my damn good sir, hope you well. People having a chat. FPL, guys, don't worry about Gyökeres. Gyökeres going Arsenal is fine. You won't be playing against Santa Sierra every week now. Chill. I don't get what that means, but okay. No. Thoughts on Gyökeres quickly, lads? Was you devastated or asked at all? Him going to Arsenal?
I was a bit asked. Yeah, I was a bit asked going to Arsenal. Like, I wasn't really crazy about him joining us. I just didn't want him to join them because I think his profile just fits with what they need and just makes them a lot stronger. But with us, I wasn't too. But let me ask you this, Nick, regarding Mbeumo. What if they want 75 million?
Not paying it.
Do you think we should pay that? Yeah. So what would you want them to do now? Because it seems like we want to get it done, but Brentford are the ones being dicks about it, and they're trying to like milk as much money as they can off it. So what would you expect for us to do now? Do we give them a take it or leave it deal? Or if we think we can sort of, you know, get as much value as we can for him, like, do you want them to just walk away at the moment?
Well, we did the same thing with Branthwaite, didn't we? Everton were asking for 75 million quid. we was offering around 50-ish. We did the same thing with Mbumo and then improved it. And then they're going in with a third and final bid, it seems like. And if Brentford don't accept that, I don't think they'll get 75 mil for him, if that's what we're asking for. I don't think any club.
I don't know if that's what they're asking. I'm just saying.
No, let's say if it is, because it feels like
yeah.
the magic number at the time when we first bid in for it was like, as long as you offer similar to what you paid for Cunha, the majority of it up front, then we'll accept it. But it doesn't seem like that's the case now. It seems like they're pushing more towards £70 million. So I love Mbumo as a player. I've already registered in my head that he's signing, and I can't wait for him to play with this and da. But if it's getting to that point, and let's say another week goes by, are you just both going to sit there and wait? No, patience, just wait. Are you going to? When's the date? When's the cut off? When you go, no, right, we need to move on now.
I don't know. I mean, I have to. If we hear reports of like the deal stalling, or if it's not looking promising, because it seems like the negotiation is happening, it's just going really, really slow. Then I'll be like, okay, just as long as you get it, because he's really, really important. I think it'll be really important for how we play. Like, he's one of them ones that I might say, okay, just stretch it a little bit. But I don't know. Like, if they take the piss, like if it's not looking promising, then we might as well just leave it and just go somewhere else. Look for someone else.
I feel like the more worrying thing for me, Sam, is the lack of links to players. So, like, for example, we've seen that, like, maybe Eze would be an option or Semenyo, but, like, other positions around, like, you're not really seeing. And sometimes that could be a good thing, maybe. Sometimes it's discreet and, under the whatever you want to call it. But does that not worry you? Just not seeing targets, like, people, plans?
No, I think in past we were linked to everybody because we only had one target and that's who we went after, and we didn't have backup plans or we didn't have other options. Whereas I think we clearly have other options. Like Delap was the number one target, went after it, didn't happen. We've shifted, we moved on. There was a lot of people talking about Jaqueras and stuff like that, and then Andy Mitten basically was saying there's been nothing. Like, we haven't really dealt with him. Ornstein's never said anything. So was that people just talking it up and trying to link it? Or was there actually nothing there in the first place and we're never really interested? There's been a report come out saying United were in for Osimhen, but he wouldn't lower his wage demands. But again, nobody of legitimate sources said anything. So it's been really hard to sort of like gauge like what is actually true, because a story came out today about Javi Guerrero for Valencia, and literally an hour and a half later, Nathan Salt came out saying it's bollocks. So it feels like the links, if they are whatever are true, are being kept quite close to the chest by United, which I like. I like that we're not letting leaks come out, because every summer it's the same thing. We know exactly who United going after. We see the protracted process drag all the way through, right to the very end, and then we overpay. That's normally the pattern. But I'm not seeing any links. Like, I've seen the odd stuff, like that Ricardo Riaz. There's a rumor of that, but only one guy's really reporting on that. The Sancho thing, nobody's really reported on it except Italian reporters. Like, no sort of people have sort of spoken about it, Ornstein or anybody like that, Laurie Whitwell. So it's interesting, man. Yeah, I'm not worried. Like, I know the internet is in a spin and the online people are absolutely losing their minds, but I'm fine. Like, I'm chill.
Well, I'd class myself as one of them people losing their minds, because I want a striker in right now, and I want Cunha's already through the door. I want him boom. I want that business done so then you can start to, like, pre-season's around the corner. You want to start integrating these players, and I just feel like history over the past couple of summers, we're bringing in players like end of August, mid-August, when the season's already kicked off. And then it's like, oh, well, they need to integrate. They need to work with the players. And it's like, well, how are we going to do this every single year? Like, it frustrates the life out of me. I think number 9 was the absolute, you asked 90% of United fans, all of them would have said, we need a striker so fucking bad. And there's not one person right now who could say the striker that we're probably going to go get. Even Ornstein was speaking about Watkins before, where it's like, kind of, I'm not sure if he would make that move or not. Who else is there? This fucking, like, Arsenal aren't going for Sesko because he's way too expensive. Ekatike's had one good season. And now you're hearing about Calvert-lewin, which may be bollocks, maybe, like, you don't know, do you? It may be utter bollocks.
Where did that come from? Because I heard it, but I never really looked into it.
That was it weren't like an Ornstein or a man, or I don't know the source who it was. But that's being put out there. And Laurie Whitwell has linked us with Calvert-Lewin earlier this year. I've seen him put that out.
I think we had talks with him, didn't we? We spoke to him. earlier in the year, but I don't know whether that's.
I'm not saying he'll be a prime target signing, but they might look at that as like an experienced one to bring in. Do you know what I mean? I saw Alan Pardew talking about it before, saying on his day he's better than Gyökeres. I was like, this Alan Pardew, mate, like, fucking hell. Go on, Sam.
Yeah, they'll do that with like Callum Wilson's just announced, hasn't he? Like he's leaving.
Yeah.
I guarantee you within 2 days, the United are linked with him. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Like it'll happen.
Yeah. My dam's saying, end of the day, we're no longer chasing rainbows, offering silly wages, so we'll get those that actually want to come for the right reasons. Takes as long as it takes. As Sam says, chilled with an ice emoji. The issue is the fact they've messed around this long. If they drop the ball in this deal, the fan base will be finished with them. Proper think we're going to end up with Vlahovic at this rate. That's from James McGrogan. Please do smash like, by the way, if you're just joining us. I don't know how you can't be worried. Chris Wheeler coming out with positive PR for Onana. Seems the club don't care about buying a serious striker and a goalkeeper. And the source was Dominic's gran. That's from My Damned United. However, we have had players returning today who are definitely going to be with us. The likes of Aiden Heaven, Diego Leon, Kobe Mainu, Mason Mount, Onana, Shaw, Xerxes. I think Bruno, Dalot, people are obviously giving off time because of everything that happened with Diogo Jota. But when we speak about pre-season lads and the youngsters, obviously Diego Leon just coming in today, is anyone you're looking forward to seeing who you think could be promoted into the first team? Because I mean, Sam had a little chat about this, Chevy. We mentioned something like Sekou Kone could perhaps get the opportunity, but apparently he's going on loan. So who do you think's ready for that step up you've seen in the team, in your opinion?
I haven't really thought about the reserve team in a while now. Well, obviously Hayden. I think obviously Hayden had. I almost said Hayden. Hayden Heaven. Yes. Yeah. Obviously him. Maybe we might try again with Harry Amas. Maybe. I think we would need a midfielder, but I like Jim Thwaites, but I don't think he's ready yet.
You're still trying to get James Garner back. That's what it is, aren't you? You're on that mission, one man mission.
Oh, you said.
Yeah, no, I did say that. You're right. No, you heard my question right. But I'm just saying, like, because you mentioned James Garner in the chat the other day.
I did because I think the kind of profile. This literally, right? We, especially with the midfield, like we don't need like some crazy superstar. We just need the closest thing to Michael Carrick as we can get, because
Adam Wharton.
He's all that, right? Just the closest.
Mate, if we sign Belieber, I think I might have to take my pants off. Like
Belieber or Wharton, one of them. I'd take it in a heartbeat.
You guys, no, we're not getting any of them.
No, we're not.
I know that.
At least 85 to 90 million. Like Brighton will hold us over the fire for those players. But the Garner thing is just a personal thing. It's not really serious. Just back to your question, I'm not sure. I can't really think of any. There's no one really making that much, noise or wave or anything in the team or in the reserves that I can think can actually step up. The kid from Diego Leon, who's just come, like, he looks like a physical specimen, but all his highlights, actually, he just looks stiff. He looks mad stiff. Like, he doesn't really look fluid or anything, and he looks like a defender. He does have some attacking attributes, but he just looks super defensive. But then, obviously, highlights can be deceiving. I'd like to see him given a chance. He just looks like Rojo on the left-hand side, like Marcus Rojo just reminds me of that.
Yeah, hopefully not.
But hopefully not. But he just looks really stiff. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. The youngsters in the wild. So.
Aiden Heaven, someone Sam obviously who we will probably look at in a minute. If we're to give kind of Ineos any flowers, that's something I definitely would give him for £1 million. With his performances last season, do you think it could be a breakout for him, similar to what we had with Kobe potentially?
Yeah, he looked good last season. Like when he stepped in, I think he had that one shaky game, didn't he? And then after that, I think he adapted really, really well. I think he could provide some really good competition to Lissandro. Obviously, I'm hoping he doesn't get another injury because fucking hell, like if he gets another one, Jesus. So he's provided some really good competition. I think he looks assured. And he's only going to get better. Like he's 18 years old, so it's like he's not even at the best form of a defender. Like obviously a defender, it takes a while before they're at like the top of the game. So Yeah, I really like him. I think Fredrickson had a good couple of games as well. He'd be one that I'll look at interested. Does he go out on loan? Because if we get full complement of centre backs back, is he going to get minutes and stuff? So maybe he needs to go on loan because he looked. I was at the game when he made his debut because I was watching him warm up. I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And he got announced on the tannoid. I was like, "Fredrickson, I've never heard of this kid. Like I've never heard of him." And now he looked like really really good. So he could be somebody. Diego Leon, Harry Amas. They could be really interesting. It'd be interesting if we put any midfielders in because obviously that's a really big area that we're struggling with at the minute. So it'd be interesting to see like Collier, Jim Thwaites, what's the Jack Fletcher, Tyler Fletcher. So yeah, there's a lot of like kids there. Are they ready yet? Are they ready to come in? But yeah, hopefully we see them on pre-season so they can see what they've got because I think the worst thing that there's worse things we could do than give one of those spots to an academy kid and just see if he can sink or swim.
Yeah,
you guys think we'll see more of Cheeto this season? Do you think we'll see more?
You know what? I think he might go on loan because initially when he came in, I liked the look of him and there was a lot of hype around him. And then a couple of the games that I watched, I can't remember it was against in the Premier League specifically. I think his physical development,
didn't it? It's too much for him.
He needs to develop a bit more, and I think you send him down to the Championship, give him to a team like I don't know, like a fucking Watford or someone like that who's trying to push up, like we did with Ahmad and Sunderland. I think that will earn him his stripes, and then kind of bring him back and assess it. Then I'm not saying they're going to do that. I obviously don't know, but that is what I would personally do with him as like a program. I was going to say on Aiden Heaven, I remember at the Sociedad game because there was. At the Stretford end, but it was more towards the left-hand side. And I remember Amram starting him literally from minute one, and I was like, that's risky that for a quarter-final or whatever it was at the time. That's a lot of trust in a young kid from a coach, so he must see something in him. And I'm curious now to see, with Lissandro coming back in, and what that side demands... Where's Heaven? Is he going to stay on that left-hand side? Is he going to move central? Is he going to move him out on the right-hand side? Like how that dynamic? Because you would probably say, based off what we saw last season, you would say what it'd be: Lissandro, Maguire, and Euro, based off everything that we've seen. If everyone's fit and available,
I'd say it's Lissandro, De Ligt, Euro. I'd say that's what it. I think
as
that's
the central centre back.
Yeah.
I don't know because if that Maguire was more like that Coates at Sporting, like that thick. Bruiser, but I think De Ligt's better there personally. I prefer him as a centre back, but yeah, I don't know how that centre back dynamic's going to work.
And then you've got your options like for the right centre back, Mazraoui can play there, so he can come in. Like you got Maguire who can replace in the central thing. You've obviously got Heaven who can play a left centre back. Shaw if he's ever
quite
gets
well
fit,
covered there, aren't we? To be fair,
so
and a mix.
Got options. Yeah. So
I think it would be a fluid situation. I don't think we'd have like a nailed down starting three.
It's going to be tactical, in it, depending on
especially
the team.
Especially with Mazraoui because Amrin rates him because of his ball control and
and he played every single game as well. Like
he played every game, So it might be him and Euro, So, but yeah, I was just going to make the point that I think it might be fluid, but I think we're pretty much covered at the back. It's just that midfield. Is the real issue.
Yeah, and that's going to be hindered, like we said, by outgoings. Speaking of outgoings, so from Italian outlets and journalists, a lot of people pushing this Jadon Sancho story that Juventus are about to table a bid of 21.5 million plus add-ons for Jadon Sancho, which would reach 25, 27, something along the lines of that, and his new contacts today and tomorrow to try and find a final agreement. Do you think Sancho will do well in Italy? Do you think he would suit that league, Sam?
I mean, if he gets paid what he wants, I'm sure. Like, I don't think he really cares, does he? At this point, he wants the money, so whoever will pay him, that's where he'll go.
Juventus won't pay him that much, though, will they?
No, but like he'll either sit out for a year at United and get paid whatever he's on now, and then leave for free at the end of the season, and then just get a massive signing on bonus from wherever he wants to go, maybe Dortmund or something, I don't know. Or if he does go to Italy, then yeah, maybe it does. It's a slower league. You get more time on the ball. It's not as sort of quick or as dynamic as the Premier League. So maybe it does suit him. Style of life out there, it's a bit more laid back and stuff. So maybe it does. But yeah, I just think he's going to go where whoever pays him the most. That's what's going to happen. So if that means staying at United, he'll sit out a year. That's what he'll do.
What's the lowest we should take from Civir?
20. Realistically, I think we should. Yeah. If someone comes with 20 million, we should take it because we already got the 5 from Chelsea, so it kind of balances, doesn't it? Yeah. At this point, I mean, it's just better for everyone involved if he just goes. We can get rid of the wage bill, just clear the air. Basically, I think 20 is a good deal, but I understand if we want to get a little bit more, but I'll take 20. To be honest. Not like I hate him or anything. It's just for everything to happen, and sometimes you just have to cut your losses, really.
It feels like Italy's the only market at the minute who we need to sell our players to. I feel like a good chunk of it is. Rasmus Højlund's been circling in the kind of news today, Sam, as I'm sure you've seen yourself. He's desperate to stay at United. That's what's being pushed out there. United, obviously, it seems quite clear that they would sell him if an offer came in. But yeah, again, it's kind of like they're talking with Inter Milan. Inter Milan, it seems like they only want to loan him. So if we're in a scenario where we can only loan him with an option or keep hold of him, what are you doing?
You probably keep hold of him because I don't know, because we've spoke about at the beginning of the show, striker-wise, I don't know who we're going to bring in. So if you let him go and then we don't end up bringing somebody in, it's going to leave you extremely short. Like, you're going to have to play Cunha, or say Mbumo comes in, you're going to have to play one of them two as your number 9, because the only other option you got is Xerxes, who his goal scoring is not his best feature, even though he's supposed to be a striker, or Cheeto, which is a lot to put on. I mean, it was a lot to put on Rasmus at 21 years old, never mind the 17-year-old kid. So, yeah, I think if a good offer comes in, you sell him. But if they just want a loan, I would keep hold of him for now and just. I'm not saying this is going to happen, and I don't believe it. But maybe if Mbumo and Cunha come in, maybe that works as a dynamic, and he's able to score a few more goals and look a lot better than he did last season. I personally don't think so, but you never know. Maybe things change. Maybe it looks a bit different. Yeah. That's why I would do. But you've got, like Chewy said, we're stuck with PSR because if we sell him for cheap, it goes down as a loss, and we've lost a player and we've lost out on money, so it just doesn't make sense for us.
We can't. So Rasmus, we can't. Yeah. Sorry.
So if somebody comes in 45 million, which I don't think they will, then cool, sell him and we can reinvest that. But other than that, keep all. I've just seen as well Sky Sports reporting. Napoli rejected Galatasaray's 47.3 million offer for Osimhen. So
yeah, I saw that earlier. Like they offered 50 million euros.
I could have told him that.
Like, why are you 50 million? Like, are you crazy?
Why are you wasting time? Yeah,
it's just allow it.
They're probably offering that because of his wages. That's why they're offering that. They're thinking we're paying such a fuckload and that.
Yeah. Just quickly on what were we just talking about now?
Højlund.
Rasmus, on Højlund, I would loan. I don't see a scenario where Ineos doesn't get a strike. I just don't see it. Like, even if it's Calvert-lewin, like, I know they will get a striker. There's no scenario where I don't see that happening. And I think for Rasmus Højlund, I would loan with an option to buy. And I know Sam doesn't really, well, not just Sam, but a lot of people don't really rate Joshua Xerxes, but I think.
No, I do. I really like Xerxes. I love Xerxes.
I think the balance that he would bring between Cunha and Mbumo would be because he wouldn't occupy the same spaces that they would. You understand? So, for example, he's more likely to drop back. He's more likely to connect. He's more likely to create space for them to run through. I think it could work. I think it would be an option, but I don't see a scenario where Ineos just doesn't buy a striker. I think we loan Højlund up because it's clearly not in the manager's plans anymore. Like, we're really, really trying to sell this guy. It looks like, and I think I would loan with an option because he would do really well initially. Like, it's direct. It's bread and butter for him. I think he'll play really well, and I think we should do that. Either that or like a Turkey or something, Fenerbahce or some sort of place that allows him to play directly. You know, and I think that's what will happen. But I just don't see a scenario where we don't buy strikers. If that happens, where we don't get one, then everything we know about Ineos is wrong. Like, it's incorrect because they're supposed to be this ambitious group of individuals, and We've accumulated a team of experts and stuff like that. So I just don't see it.
I really think we're going to get left by the wayside if we don't bring in a top premium number 9. And I think the only top premium number 9 right now is Ollie Watkins. And even on that deal, I'm like, it all depends what he's going to ask for, where he's at, because he's in his prime
Price,
years.
It's the
Price-wise as well, that's another thing. And if that goes off the table, then you really are fucking Googling, who's the next star and putting trust on that as well. Because if you go more for a youth option, again, you've just spent 70 million quid on Erasmus. If that option doesn't work out, you fucked it. You've absolutely fucked it. So I'm seeing... Go on.
What's more important to you, striker, if you have to choose, like striker or midfielder for this team?
A striker, but I desperately want a midfielder. I'm greedy. I want a midfielder as well. Like, I think it's so important in there. But the thing is, you still have players like Cass. You were speaking about Casemiro last season. You thought he was relatively decent, right? Bruno Fernandes, if he plays there more often, might develop a bit more and obviously contribute still a lot. So there, it's like, okay, you've got something to fall back on a little bit. At the 9, as it stands right now, we're going in with, okay, maybe Xerxes will work, but then they'll have to figure out if it's going to work.
That's a maybe. That's a maybe as well.
Rasmus, there isn't a man on this single planet who's going to put another trust in another season in him to like, yeah, maybe he'll come good. So that number 9 is so important. And I know Liverpool and City, they've won leagues and they've done stuff and they've got money, and I get that. But they're winning titles 25 points ahead of us, and they're signing one of the best players in the world right now in Florian Wirtz, and signing the best wing-backs in Europe, some of them in Frimpong and Kirkes. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, how are we going to get there? How are we going to get there? It's going to take so fucking long because all of them are going to significantly improve. And look at Arsenal as well. Zubamende, Gyökeres.
It's Arsenal though, so they won't win it. They won't win anything. They'll just bottle it like they do every year. It's going to be a slow road. Like, it's going to take time. Like, fans are not going to like it, man. Like, I know because we've been through 20 years of absolute bullshit under the Glazers and Woodward and Murta and Arnold, who just completely trashed this club and not invested anything into it. And we're now 10 years behind everybody in terms of data, recruitment, training, all that sort of stuff. It's going to take time to put it right. Ineos have been here for a year. It took 15, 16 years to put us in the mud. It's going to take more than a year to get us back out of it and get us back to where we need to be. And
I think so.
We're just going to have to be patient. Like, we're just going to have to be patient.
Can I ask you, why are you so willing to be patient, though? What evidence have you seen where you're willing to trust him?
I think the recruitment's improved. Aiden Heavens is a big example of that. Sekou Kone is another one. I think Matthias de Ligt was a good buy. I think Mazraoui was a good buy. Xerxes, I think there's something there. Maybe we'll see. I think Dorgu was a good buy. So I think the recruitment has got better. Ugarte, I think he had a really good run from November to February, but then he dropped a couple of stinkers. So yeah, they might. I'm not sure.
It's still a decent buy.
You can't get every transfer right though. Like, no one's got 100% record. They're investing in the stadium, like the brand new stadium's on its way, so they're bringing it, which we've been asking for God knows how long. They spent, is it 50 million on the training ground? They're upgrading the training ground and that sort of stuff. So they're invested in that. They're invested in data. They're invested in all sorts of different things, which the previous regime didn't do any of. They didn't do any of this.
That's a very low
just went
bar.
out as like, yeah, but you got to start somewhere, haven't you? You have to start somewhere. Like, they put a lick of paint on the stadium and acted like they were changing the world. And then they just go out and splash the cash and say stupid shit like, we can do stuff other clubs can only dream of, and that kind of rubbish. And look where we are. So, yeah, the bar is on the floor, but you've got to start somewhere. Like, Liverpool didn't win a title for 30 years and they had to build up. Arsenal have not won a trophy in decades. Well, a major trophy anyway, decades. So it takes time, man. Like, it takes time.
Jimmy, where you... Go on.
Sorry.
I was just going to ask you that.
I was just going to say I agree with everything Sam said, 100%. I think I would only just fall back to what I said earlier about just being a little bit more realistic, because I'm not under any illusions that there's going to be wholesale changes at once. Like, Ineos is here, here's money, here's a new player, and there's stuff that we need to get rid of first before we can actually push on to be, to start seeing some real progress. And I like the decision. It might not be the right decision, but I like the way it happened with the manager. The way we went to the manager and be like, listen, this we want you. We don't want to wait till the end of the season. We want you now. Come now. Let's start this now. Just the decisions they're making, they're a little bit more decisive than we've seen in the past. And I understand with a lot of younger United fans, like you've kind of grown up in the Glazer era, and you're just used to things being horrible, things being rubbish. And I think, and I won't blame anyone for looking at Ineos the same way, because that's all you know. That's all people know. It's just the Glazers recently. So I don't really blame fans for being impatient or just not having any faith, because you haven't seen anything else. But I'm just saying, like, you have to be. I think I'm just being a little bit more realistic with it. Like, it's going to take some time. It would take. I'm not going to go into the whole phase 1, phase 2 like us fans do, but it will take some time, and I'm willing to give them a year or 2, or just to get back to, because right now we finished 15th, so we can't even be talking about top 4, right? We're trying to get back into the top 10 and trying to get back into the Europa League spaces before we can even think of challenging those players. So just strap in. Well, I shouldn't say strap in. That's a heavy pause. But just strap on, yeah. Yeah, but then just basically just get ready for it. It's going to be a long ride.
Did you hear that? Could you hear that sound? Yeah.
It was slightly. It was muffled.
It was like that sus sound because you said strap in or strap on.
Strap in.
It's just that. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just be patient. It's going to be a while, and it's going to be a long ride.
Hey, pause again. He's coming out with all of them at the moment.
What's possible there? I can't say long.
A long ride.
Long ride.
He said.
Is long ride? Are we pausing on long ride now?
Move on, Chivy.
Doesn't matter. We could be here all day. I was going to say, I forgot what I was going to say now because you completely just fucking took me off. You ruined
I forgot
everything. No, it's all right. We always do. I was going to say, about Ineos. There could be a genuine chance that we start pre-season with just Cunha. Would that not worry us slightly?
That would.
That's the only thing I'm looking at. Like, it's only when did we start? What's the official date? Is like 20th,
10th?
Somewhere around that. Oh, it's the 10th.
10 days? No, it's 10 days.
I was going to say, yeah. So like the 17th, somewhere around that period, right?
Yeah.
If we're starting that with Cunha's the only one who's going on there, I think we are in for another long ride. Again, pause for the season. Genuinely. But look, because there's so many comments, I've ignored them for a while, so let me just blitz through him. Cobby looks strong, guys. I'm seeing a lot of reports about that, actually. Yeah, I've seen loads of people. I hope he has a fucking really good season.
Him and Euro, they've been training together in the preseason. Like they're looking really, really fit.
Yeah. Casemiro as well is another one who looks shredded. I've seen like pictures of him. Toby Collier, sell, loan, 15 million. Jesus.
No.
Watkins is a no-go. He's 30 this year. They want 60 mil for him. We paid 60 mil not too long ago for a 30-year-old, didn't we?
They wanted it in January, didn't they, when Arsenal approached? Yeah. But they can't be still wanting 60 million. Like, it's had 6 months.
I would say there's PSR issues there as well, but they've just sold the women's team or something, haven't they? Something like that.
To themselves. So.
Yeah. Done what Chelsea done. I know Omar said Cunha's a Cantona type, but Jesus, putting some pressure on him. So yeah, especially if it's the only signing. Success takes time. You can pull off the rug for any failure at any point. I doubt Ruben should check the weather again. United, I want Osman or Vlahovic United and Ollie Watkins and then some giant. Like, last thing I wanted to do, we did this with Adam and Shreyas. I'm just going to ask you to say one letter, yeah? And whatever letters you both come up with combined with, you got to name the player. So, for example, if you say A, Civir, and Sam says B, you say Aaron Bramwell or something. Do you know what I mean? Nice and simple. Yeah? Sam? Up for it?
Right, okay.
Okay.
Go first. Don't go with me first.
No, it's going to be both of you.
Because I think Chivy's going to fuck us over and just be like X and stuff like that. That's what he's going to do.
That's just the most... I'm sat here for 20 minutes thinking of a player's name. Is there a player with X?
Xavi Simmons. You
That'd
could
be
do.
first name, though,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
Xavi.
But if you've got a second name, Xavi, of course, yeah.
Xavi, or
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso, you
Right.
could have as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try not to fuck this up because we don't want to be here all day. I'm gonna do it for the last 5 minutes. That's it. So just think of one letter. I'm gonna count down from 3, and when I do 3, 2, 1, go. Just say the letter, both of you, and then whatever the combined letters are, you name a player with those initials. Does that make sense before I advance? Because I understand both of you need a bit of more so Civir. Do we understand the game?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, right. We'll try it. We'll give it a test run and we'll see what happens. 3, 2, 1, go.
K.
S.
KS. Think of a football player with the initials KS.
Okay.
Oh, what's
I
that?
can think of one straight away.
KS.
Yep.
KS.
And I'll give you his clues if you want clues. Understand you've not had your cup of teas yet or in Werther's, so
I've
you're not
had
quite
3
up to scratch. You might need a fourth.
Yeah. Kevin something. I want to say Kevin something.
Yeah, you're on the right track. It's right there. If you want a clue, I'll give you a clue.
Go on.
Plays in Premier League.
Of course he does.
Plays for Brentford.
Kevin Sharder.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sharder.
there you go. Kevin Sharder. See? Well, wait, come on. Right, 3, 2, 1,
Again?
go.
H.
B.
HB.
Was that B, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
B for Buzz.
H.
I really tell you guys are enjoying this.
Hakeem. No.
Look at how deep the
I
thinking.
want to go Harry. Harry something.
Yeah, but there's no. Is there Harry Bradley?
Nope. Is it Connor Bradley?
Harvey
Is it
Barnes.
Hakeem?
Harvey Barnes.
Hey!
Very good. Very, very good.
One more time. I'm coming up with them
Okay.
alley-oops, man.
Okay. Andy also got Harvey Barnes in there as well, so big up
Nice.
to Andy. Right, last one, and then I'll switch around. 3, 2, 1, go.
A.
T.
AT.
I'm not gonna get that one.
Yeah, I can think of one.
Adam. Andy Townsend is not a player.
He was.
The former
He was
players.
a player.
He was a
was.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have Andy Townsend if you want Andy Townsend.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go, you have it. Right,
Okay.
who wants the host? Because I want to go. I want to test my brain.
All right. Go on. You and Chivy go.
Okay.
So Nick gets the first letter, Chivy gets the second letter. 3, 2, 1, go.
P. Is he?
I think he's froze. I think
Oh,
he's
was
gone.
it? I thought.
Yeah. I thought he just stopped.
I thought he was just looking like blindly thinking of a letter. I don't know if we're gonna get him back
Yeah.
or not. Maybe. I'll
Yeah.
give it 30 seconds. I'll read some comments out. If he doesn't come back, then I'll end the show. Nicholas Jackson, Ollie Watkins, Callum Hudson-Odoi, all Premier League proven. United, I need. Oh, sorry, I read that out. Are we back?
He's back.
Was I frozen?
You was frozen. Yeah.
You
Right,
both of you were frozen.
Yeah. I said P, and it was just your face like that. And we went Civir. It was just like a frozen face. We'll just do one. We'll just do one. So start again,
Yeah,
Sam,
go on.
and then we'll finish it with this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
C.
B.
B.
B for Bravo. B for Bravo. So CB.
I mean, you've got a player there. You've just said one. C and B.
Claudio Bravo.
There you go.
Way.
Claudio Bravo. Okay. And maybe I'll use that game more for the younger kids on the channel because they seem to interact with it a little bit more. I'll let you guys get your Earl Grey teas and your brown sugar.
I got all of them bar one. What are you
We got
talking
all of them. Like, yeah. This one we got in record time as well.
Just because Chivy's in his 60s don't put me in the same category.
Connor Bradley, you could have had as well. Someone just put Pele. That's just a single P. Thank you very much for that. If you can, leave a like on the video for us and subscribe to the channel. Would really, really appreciate it. Just below me as well here on the right-hand side. Socials, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Sorry I haven't been active over the weekend. It's probably the first weekend where we haven't Bare mad shit going on, but we're back in full flow now, so really appreciate everyone. And we put a poll up at the start of the show saying, would you take any of the following players? We put Calvert-Lewin, Douglas Luiz, Vlahovic, and then Cunha, and Douglas Luiz got 62%, so heavy favourite there. People would still take him at Manchester United. That could be an option in midfield. Let's see what happens. Thank you everyone for watching.
He was good in the Prem, wasn't he, when he played for Villa? Like, he was
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was, but yeah, let's see what happens. Anything for the next couple of weeks is going to be utter chaos in it. So, me, Sam, and Chivy